damn, I'm trying to what you call it? I can't think of the word right now, but in a sense, something like that. You
Let
brother
me give an
follow me?
example. Let me kind of
But
try to break it and make it simpler. I think what you saying like the Akashic records is because I think knowledge is all recollection, like you just said, bro. I think our goal is to remember what we learned from our last lifetime and bring it with us as we keep moving through different planes of consciousness. So a good example for that will be, say you are in a library and you use a book of information to just how you will use a book of information for like a science project or a school project and you're supposed to present the information. I think what we learn here from whatever books or whatever we learn from, we're here to present it at the present moment. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why they call this shit the present, because we're
oh,
all
that's
at
dope.
all
I like
times we're
that.
supposed to present. You feel me? So people who don't present or show good presentation, I think they the ones that have to stay in class. You feel me? Get held back, shit like that. You know.
Well, let me. Yeah. I can see where you're coming from, and that's a good analysis too, Bridget. For real, for real. But if I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
let me interject where I was coming from, and then we can put all of this thing together. Cause that sounds like what knowledge saying, and knowledge sounding like what I saying. So we all in the same boat. He said we ain't far at all. We right there. So let me give a piece, and I kind of want you to think on it, just from a different side. When we say Akashi record, when we say we going through this book to this book or to this book or to this book, we really putting the Akashi records on one plane, which is this plane. No,
But no,
because
no.
let me finish, Roger. If you saying one book is for one person, one book is for next person, it's still what we going through on this plane. So, or someone coming, or some being coming from a higher existence to experience what's going through that book is still putting it on one plane.
Yeah, yeah, brother. But see, this is the thing. It's not my book, your book. You pick that book. You get what I'm saying? That book has no name till you touch it. It can be 1,000 books with no name, but that book don't become significant and divine till you touch it. And then that book gives you that experience to come down to the next plane to experience life and existence. You get what I'm saying? So it's not my book, your book. But I feel you though. I feel you though on that shit. Like, but it's
See, if I have from my perspective, speaking of the Kasha records, everything y'all have said, and in turn being a researcher, I looked at the Akashic records as every person who remembers. Like one of the brothers was saying something about remembrance, and I took it in the same fashion as remembrance. And so what I begun doing years back, I began using my subconscious memory instead of my conscious memory. When everyone decided to be conscious, because conscious is just awareness, spontaneous awareness. You can make a good decision or a bad decision spontaneously, but that's still considered consciousness. When you notice your subconscious memory is unlimited memory. It's like a second brain with no limit. And once you know how to use it and store memory inside of it, I feel like, how some people say when you die, you see your entire life flash before your eyes. That's because you are a book of, you are the Akashic record. That's the when you
Yeah,
die and your whole life flash before your eyes. That's your entire record flashing before your eyes, coming,
yeah.
projecting from your subconscious. But yet, as you walk through life becoming conscious, we fail to realize that our subconscious memory is where it's at. It's called metacognition. It's metacognition stands for thinking about what it is that you're thinking about. It's basically saying that analyzing what you're thinking prior to even thinking it. And it's called, like I said, it's called metacognition. So I just pieced it all together, like the young brother was saying about remembrance. And that's why it says in one of those books, it says that, the book of remembrance is what you'll be judged upon. And if you look at it, the Akashic Records, the book of remembrance, your death flashing before your eyes, your life flashing before your eyes upon death. All of this stuff is considered in science stored in the subconscious memory, where everything is stored, because the brain can't play tricks on you. These false
No,
memories and all that shit.
your life, you're right, brother. And you can attribute that right there to self-healing as well too. If you're able to think of the things you're thinking, while you think of them, you can heal and you can always grow. You can always move forward.
And he's exactly right. When you scratch the surface of wanting to research what it is, what is memory, and not everybody else's memory. What is the strength and what is the capability of your own
Tinfoil,
you start to
peace.
see
Welcome
that
to the show, man.
if you're left-handed
Welcome to
or
the show.
right-handed, and then you start to adopt just little exercises throughout the day. Like I'm right-handed, and when I begun doing it myself, I started doing little things throughout the day left-handed, brushing my teeth, washing dishes, pumping gas. And I started noticing that when you do things out of the ordinary, you become ambidextrous, and that's teaching the brain to use right and left side. And like that one book said, you have to walk a narrow path. That, to me, I consider that's the corridor right down the split of your brain, because you know how I say, if you go right, here's these qualifications. If you go left, here's these qualifications. If I knock at the door and if you let me in, I'll come into you. You see, you have all these analogies about which side of the brain that you're going to operate on Earth on. The way I see it is, walk down the center of your brain, which is that great corridor. Don't go right or left. And that, to me, that's where you find the Akashic Records. You know what I'm saying? That's how I found mine. But it was techniques like that. It was turning myself left-handed when I was normally right-handed. It was things like, it was just the normal things that I took in consideration that I did to myself, like studying the subconscious and actually using it, where I was able to I'm able to put energy into memory and store for an event. Like if I knew a certain event's coming up, I'm the type of brother that I get anxiety and I get excited, right? But I'm able to use memory and energy at the same time to say, this is how I'm going to operate for that, and put that shit there with it, right along with everything else that's physical, and I'll feel better in the future. I'm able to do that forward, all due to the subconscious memory. Not to the conscious memory. I consider myself aware. I don't have no strikes. You know what I'm saying? I'm still alive. That's how I see it. And the way I've been operating, I don't operate on a conscious memory. I operate on subconscious memory. I remember everything that I'm doing. That way, no one can say that I did something that I was never involved with.
Man, that's powerful. I definitely just had to write that shit down, because you're so right about
You're
the
powerful motherfucker.
the brain. You know what I mean? And like you just said, using different triggers for your brain to experience and release that serotonin and that dopamine,
Exactly.
bro. That's
Exactly.
powerful, bro. That's real building shit. Like, that's a tip that all black people, all races, fuck it, I ain't even gonna say all black people, but all races, bro, should be taking heed to, man. So that's what's up, bro.
Yo, let me finish what I was saying, if I can. Brother Dojo, that was strong and that was powerful. Yeah, thanks for that testimony there. What I thought we was gonna, we was on a more of a reincarnation kind of thing, and the Akashi Records. It's all ties the same. But I didn't want to step far for what I was trying to get to from the beginning.
But see, that's a
Yeah.
part of it too, though, in a sense.
I just said, yeah, all that relates together. But I'm trying to go back to where I was in the beginning, which what we was talking about, the Akashi Records being on this plane. And every instance that everyone has discussed, if you look and see what everyone has discussed, the Akashi record is dealing with this plane. And what I'm saying again is each book is it's a million books in your library. I don't know what's in your library, but in my library is a million book or a million and one or however many times I've been here. In each book is an experience here. So that book is already written down and showing judgment on what I did, or it's recorded on what I've done. And no, time has time. There's no such thing as time. So it's the present, like you will say. My now is then, and my then is now. You know what I'm saying? So it's all of this is already written, pre-written. Everything is already written. It's just for me to get to that point in this reality. So once I get to that point and I go into a deja vu, I read in the book pre-read already. And I remember in that. Or I read in a book that already been read already. And I remembering that. So that's what I mean by the Akashi record. Now, when I say everyone on this face of this earth here is connected by one that created all creations, whatever realm, whatever level of reality or non-reality or sci-fi or whatever them want to put in. We all have to go through an experience, and this experience have to go back to the source and report back to the source. So your experience probably was here a million years ago on man time, and it had to experience so many things throughout time, and it couldn't be released until it made its mission to experience of all things to report back to the creator, to give that energy of experience of his own or her own creation. So, I mean, we can't really look at it as a bad thing that we're going through what we're going through right now, that we're in knowledge of now. But we must be strong to know that there's a reason behind it, and that we can endure it, and it's gonna be greater because it's greater, and we see the light. We know who we are. We know what we are. Now, this is, I feel, is what's gonna transcend you further and greater beyond, and not back to this place here. Is knowing who you are. Um, Being complacent with different that's why I put up certain things in the chat earlier today, because being discomplacent and certain areas of looking for God outside and not looking for God within, we realizing God within, we stay confused and lost. But I'm gonna back up. I just wanted to get those little couple of points out. But that everyone sounding strong. Every song sound the same. But bless you.
No, yeah, that was nice right there. Yeah.
And when you say, and I agree with everything you said, and like you say, we're all connected. We all get each other's points. We just constantly diving deeper on it. Each of us has a deeper understanding, which is our own understanding. And when you said report back to the creator, or the source, don't we think that the source already feels and sees our experience, because the source is the soul, right? The source is what creates the sounds of the soul. So whatever our souls experience, the source knows that experience. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, what I saying is,
I mean,
let me
I like that. I would just I would definitely beg to differ, because it wouldn't make anything so beautiful. It wouldn't make nothing complete. You know, I feel like the source can choose not to know. That's why we're here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the issue.
You know, things that happen in this lifetime, the creator doesn't make these things happen.
So you think sometimes he do be like, oh well, not he, but the creator.
Yeah.
The
That's
creator
why I
can
say,
definitely. I feel like the
do
creator
he
can
care?
definitely help when you know. Let's say for example, a gun might jam in front of your face when you know it's supposed to let off, or
Yeah,
you know. But I
right.
feel like he would never take his creation. You know. With that being said, I know you know we've been tampered with and shit. You know, so.
Right.
Yeah. That's strong. That's strength right there. But check this out. The creator created that eagle, right? The creator created that bear, that big old bear in the woods and thing. The creator created that whale. Now, he created them things, but those things individually have to experience diving 12,000 feet, climbing up a 50-foot tree to gather honey, the taste of the honey, to be able to fly over 6,000 feet in the air now and watch, be able to catch a pin or see an ant going on top of a hill. You understand? All those experiences just from them animals have to get back to the creator so the creator can experience what it felt like when the wind crossed his hair while it was soaring through the air, and it cut through and gone dash through this cloud and gone come back around. Everything don't do that. So the bear doing something different than the next bear and getting a different experience of life from its own experience. You understand what he's showing you? So that creation have to go back to the creator to report the data that is received. It's like a computer, man. Now the creator, of course, made everything. So yes, it knows everything. But yo, when you have your own,
Oh yeah, man, that's crazy. It knows everything. It don't know the experience of everything.
experience. Yeah. Exactly though. It's getting experience through the experience of itself. It separated itself so it can go off and experience this, so it can go and experience this, so it can go and experience racism, hanging, being shot, being scared to being shot, robbed. All these experiences has to go back to the creator because he created all these experiences and he she or it wants to experience what it created. So it wants to get that data, but it don't want to get that data lesser than what it could be. That's how come Christ can't be God. Because if God was the Almighty God was Christ, it couldn't be nothing on earth in comparison. So it wouldn't be no other man or no other woman. It'd be his singularity by itself. Because it can be nothing greater, or as the same as greatness. You understand? So can't no man be God? Because there's a next man there about bigger, better, and stronger. You understand? So every man is a God, but as a piece of the creator. So individually. Right, individually, but at some time you're going back. Everything is going back to the creation. It has to.
Everything, right?
And you have to learn how to live as a peasant, almost, so to speak.
Yeah, you have to know how to
synchronize. A king living as a peasant. Yeah.
Synchronize with your surroundings. Synchronize with your people. Don't be so quick to be angry. Don't be so quick to be. You understand? Don't be so quick to be distant. Don't be so quick to be fleshly. Get back to the creation of the spirit that's within, that you're separated. You hear Brother said that he had to do things to make both sides of his brain function so he can walk down that narrow path. Well, you got to make, that's a good example. Ed, yo, if that makes you, if that takes for you to exercise, well, you got to find the middle of the righteous path. Straight is narrow. You got to go straight to that righteous path. You find that itch. If brethren tells you, be both handed. Don't be one handed all the time. Be both handed. If that exercise you to get that, use that exercise to get there. I'm not knocking that at all, but you must get there. Period. You understand? You have to get there, because you don't get there, you're gonna come back, do it again. You're gonna do it again. You're gonna do it again and again and again and again. And it never stop.
But at the same time, I won't remember doing it again, or the person or subject that matter, like you're mentioning. Do they one of, I think it was Harry saying something about you don't. Okay, well, I don't know who it was, but this do over or come back or shucks, I got to do it again. Well, does that
Come
spirit
around.
or soul remember? You know, so is one supposed to
No,
try
it
to find?
doesn't.
No, they don't. So
No.
so so what is it? So what? I don't understand. I don't
Eh,
get it.
Well, see that's
no,
why they
you
say
do.
like let's say
It kind of
you
it
will
kind of
touch
makes
this.
it insignificant, right, brother?
But
No,
what? How is it
you do.
insignificant when you don't remember, or when you turn to energy or whatever we become when we die? Because none of us know what that what exactly that is. But one thing that some of us agree on this panel is that we won't remember what that is when it does happen. And so
Yeah.
how is that a discussion if we don't remember? And if there's no evidence to even go off of, it's like all of our guesses can be correct or all of us can be wrong. It can be so because we won't remember this. You know what I'm
It's
saying? So
just
it's
like
kind of
if you was to touch a rock, right? And
uh-huh.
that rock gave you these chills and then you just had like this fucking flash in your head. See, people can tap into their Akashic records, you know. And I get what you're saying. It sounds kind of crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, because I
It's
want to I want to be accountable. See, I'm a man of accountability. If
yeah,
I'm going to be accountable for something, whether here, there, or tomorrow, or in death,
yeah.
I want to face my accuser just like in court. If I'm going to be held accountable for something, and so if we're talking about the Akashic records or anything other, right? If I'm not held to remember, or I'm going to be left not to remember, right? Then it's kind of like it's hard for me to like. I want to discuss who she or it, who was the one responsible for allowing me to go through this and not to remember what I went through later. You know, is that a simple question?
That's a
Is that the creator?
I hey, that's deep. That's deep. But it's also
That's what makes me, I ask the
Mm.
questions I ask about the whole reincarnation, and like the creator's too good. It makes it insignificant for a person to be living life over and over and over when they don't get it right and they never remember. That's all I mean by it. To
How
me,
can you remember
it makes it minuscule.
when you can't remember? You know what I mean? They
well,
like
well,
they
see, well,
expect
see,
you
it's just
to.
it's just like the Kajik Rex explained.
Like it turns
When
it into a game. It makes it more
when you get
important.
recycled, you don't really have free will. Free will is just an illusion because it's already written. So you don't really know consciously. You're reliving this experience. I guess through enlightenment, you elevate out of it and you realize. You know what I'm saying? In a sense.
Yeah, I realize it. Like the Apostle Paul, he considered it. He called it a constraining love. He said God constrained his ass. You know what I mean? So I took that like like he thought this way, but he made sure his actions was of God, regardless of the fact that he knew he wanted to respond in a different way. He was constrained through the love of God, not to You know what I mean? So the way I
Yeah.
see it is, and even Jesus, and even it says that Jesus that you're cursed for even the thought of it, And so, but to me, even both of those notations doesn't even add up if they already knew you're not going to remember when you die anyway. It's like damn. And so it's like who's going to be. So why does the Christian say that you're going to hell and you're going to remember everything that you go through? You're going to be damned.
Well,
Right?
see. The thing with Christians, their ideal of hell is from Dante Alighieri. They got him infamous right now, and people don't even know it. But basically, when you're playing Devil May Cry, it's based on all that shit. It takes you through the 13 it takes you through the cantos of hell, and each realm of hell, you experience different kinds of shit. depending on how you lived your life, and so the whole book is he taking you through each level of hell. And so that's that whole idea of hell we Christians and everybody else got, but hell in a sense is just a common grave. And a common grave is your body because it's a prison, and you're recycling and living it over and over. So when you die, you wake back up.
Damn.
Man, that's deep knowledge. That's deep, man. That's real shit, bro. Hey, I just wanted to give y'all brothers a shout out, man. I'm finna go and get up out of here for the night.
Yes,
down, I gotta get up
All
early.
right, brother.
Man,
Peace.
Yeah.
I
All right, brother. Have a good night.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes,
We
sir.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
Much peace, much love.
Hey, Knowledge, you
Yeah.
ever heard of Mary Kay
No.
Baxter? She described it that way too. I heard an audio tape.
Dojo.
Yes, sir. Yep. What's up, brother?
Yeah, you remember when I just tell you everything is in the Akashi record is pre-written, but where the book you at is at the book you at, and the book you left is a continuance to the book you know. And then I want you to coincide that when I say the energy has been taken from the creator and placed in a eagle, a bear, a whale, coyote. You understand? And these things have to fulfill what has already been written. So it's gonna fulfill that book in that lifetime. But the book, the story hasn't been done. That library for that specific entity that has came out of the creator has an extensive library full of books to experience. Now, when I say Akashi record, I say an Akashi record as in, yeah, your memory. You do remember things. When you step out of that boundary on thinking on one side, the left side, or the right side, and you tap into that, what they trying to block off from you, them third items say. You understand? When you tap into that and you know and you see your soul sees everything. Your soul knows everything. Your soul is infinite. Your soul come from the beginning. Your soul is the one that even wrote the book, is part of the one that wrote the books in the library, in everyone's library. So what I'm saying is, I know it's hard to really catch me, man. God, I might be talking in code or something where I really ain't being understood on what I'm saying, but the
We
books.
follow you, brother. But I think when you grab that book and you want to experience the life of that book, you put your soul into that book.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You put your soul into that book.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I saying the same thing. Yeah, that's what I say. Now, when you done with that book, if you die, it's a continue, like it's a continue to be continue. So when you come back, you coming back in another book, in the form of another book. You read it, you're coming off a whole nother book, and you're not necessarily gonna remember that book you just left because your consciousness hasn't reached that level of remembrance of the Akashi record. Watch your Tesla tapped in the Akashi record. What's the dude? Edgar James Casey, was it his name? Edgar Casey used to sleep on top of books and know the book when he wake up. You never hear your mother telling you when you were young, baby, put that book under your pillow and you're gonna know that shit in the morning when you go to school to do that test. You ain't remember that? Because she was giving you the size of Edgar Casey. This is a real man that went and did some things like this because he could actually tap into the dimension where he can go to the Akashi record and see every book and come back and tell you that book. Yeah, your life. So not saying he reading stars, he's looking at fetching astrology, or he gone on some fetching ancient symbol that bring him back. Nah, the man actually tap into his own self. It can be done. I'm gonna show you again. You have I tell a brethren them the other night. You have people over in Tibet. They call them Tibetan monk. These man can float. These man can stop their heart rate with them. You call them dead. These man know how to come up out of the body and make the mind really move. And this is just a lightweight thing that these man do. You understand what I'm showing you? So imagine if we can tap into what we have already, how much we'll remember. Where you think Tesla get all his knowledge? He had to go to the Akashi record to get it. He had to go way far ahead to see and bring it back to where he was then. It's all there already. You could get it all. You like I said, brethren, you write everything. Not you necessarily. All of we wrote this thing.
That's why they say some people are ahead of their time, because there is no time.
Exactly, bro. There is no time.
Yeah, that kind of goes right into something else I wanted to bring up with the whole what I feel like is 5G and part of the chemtrails and stuff like that. Like they're gonna start putting stuff in the sky that like I think in our lifetime we're gonna see real superheroes and supervillains, whether it be through real artificialness, as far as chip or enhancements, messing with your DNA through nano technology or whatever, or actually people tapping into it in a good way or a bad way.
Well, speaking of artificial, let's just say we already experiencing an artificial world and don't even know it. That's why I believe everything's holographic in a sense. We all make sense of it when wave lengths and frequencies and vibration come at a balance to where it say, well, you know, like how the TV screen is real fuzzy, but then you can like back in the day how it used to be, and you can just turn the tuner or move the antennas around and then the picture unfuzz and then just or like an old VCR when you do the tracking and everything just comes into clarity. I think that's our experience of life, you know, in a sense.
Well, you know,
me and Huey was talking
that,
about that earlier. There is like an eternal buzz, and they try to replace that with the TV and the radio. You know how like when your TV's on mute, you can still hear it buzzing. You know, there's an eternal ringing in your ear. Ether has a buzz. You know, there's an eternal buzz or ring to the ether, and they're trying to replace. I mean, you know, they find ways to manipulate it. You know.
Why do you think we so attracted to technology like cell phones, radios, TV? You get what I'm saying? It all clicks in together.
Yeah, I think with that 5G, man, that has everything to do with the Project Bluebeam and shit, you know?
Shinobi, I see you in the chat. What's up, brother? How you feeling? Well, in the panel, I'm talking about in the chat.
What's up, bro? What's up, guys?
Yo.
Man, we've been building on the Akashic
Records, brother. You all right?
Yeah, I just now probably jumped on like 5 minutes ago and caught what you were just now saying. Yeah, that fucking 5G, man. They're definitely looking to weaponize it.
Well, have you guys heard anything about the TSA workers in America? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I mean, I done heard a lot of shit about them. I hear shit about them every day, man.
Well, you know, they tagging up to sue the U.S. government, or not sue the government. I think it's Northrop Grumman, but one of them, whoever make that X-ray machine, that when you go into the airport and thing, it scan you and thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they like 90% of them don't catch cancer. The ones that's been working on it for a while.
Well, so you gotta think when you walk in something like that, man. It's like having a CAT scan or X-ray because it actually got to get an image of your body. So you got to think of the radiation it's using to emit to get that picture of the inside of your body. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
you know, that's a 5G. That's a 5G thing. That
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
is.
yeah, man. It's just like saying that if, like, let's I was hearing something about that 5G, and this was like if everybody had 10 phones on the earth, like people started getting like poison from the radio waves of the phones, like transferring and stuff.
They also connected that to the chemtrails as well too, like the 5G emittance. Is you know, it can be a trigger. It's going to be a trigger for a lot of people. Let's say, for example, whose immune systems are low. Just with the chemtrails and ions and with the 5G being emitted, it's going to be like a trigger where people will be getting sick. And I mean, it's a lot of shit going on, man. You lose sleep, you have nightmares, start thinking shit you shouldn't even be thinking, you know?
I don't know. I fall asleep. I
think
fall
you
asleep.
think everything for a reason. I think you think of everything for a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason you thought that thought, you know.
I fall asleep with listening to you guys all night.
Nah, but look, man. I mean, you also have to understand that you can think things and not even for no reason at all, man. You really can, man.
Yeah.
That's just the training of the mind and the subconscious, you know. And you know how much of that is going on, no matter where we walk on this plane. It's happening.
I might be crazy, right? I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I might be crazy, but like I said, I stay up. Like if I fall asleep, I fall asleep listening to one of you guys' channels, like Knowledge Channel or some old things, and just listen to the conversation and fall asleep with the phone right there by my head. I talking to you guys all day, man. I don't think of no craziness. I fucking think on straight love. You know what I'm saying? But these are the choices I want to do on my own. It's where I put myself in this habit to think. I'm not saying I ain't perfect. But I can't tell you I be thinking of no evil thoughts either.
No, brethren, yeah. I'm talking like on the mass, you know, the masses.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I have thoughts that I shouldn't be having. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's
we
going to be
wouldn't be
something
human
to
if
where
we
it can
could.
affect enough people. You know, I mean, how many people are walking zombies right now?
Yeah.
That's real shit. That's real shit, Harry.
But can they do something about, like, can't they make that change on themselves? Aren't they strong enough? Like,
they gotta be willing to, man. Some people. So you ever heard that saying, stuck in their ways?
Yeah.
You know,
like once you get to a certain age, man, it's really hard to change people the older they get. I've come to find, like, actually the younger the person, most times they're more receptive to like the shit we would have to say, you know, like the alternative views that we all kind of have, which is really the correct views, but you know, like it goes against the general consensus.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my experience, though. I mean,
I guess you could say that. I mean, I had a conversation with an older man one time before all of us know him, you know, but he kind of fought me all the way to the end, and then I had to pull up some receipts for him. And when he seen the receipts, he quickly humbled himself. Yeah, that was only one instance. It seemed like I had more issues with people younger than me, than people my age or older.
oh, but I'm younger than you too, so like when I'm talking to someone older than me, they generally write it off since I'm younger than them.
how old are you, Shinobi?
28.
Oh, you no, how old are you again, bro? He older than you, ain't
I'm 28. Nadi's older than me by far.
Yeah, I'm 31. I know it's probably a couple of you brothers older than me.
I mean, listen, one thing I know for sure, man, and I see it every day. People are wanting to feed this low vibe, this evil energy. You know?
I only 20. I only 21.
My son not a young.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
man. 21. What year this is? 19.
Damn.
I born.
He said, "What year this is? 19, 19."
19. Let me think. Nah. I
Nah,
guess
you
someone
fucking with
laughing
me.
at
You're young at heart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am get
Real
hard.
shit.
So
Real shit.
I bursted 50 soon, Ross. The whole world know. Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like I right there with you guys, side by side, neck to neck, the whole race, you know? So don't cut me short. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
Well, my experiences has been great with the youth. All my life has been like that. I mean, even including now. I've had my run-ins with elders. I've had my run-ins or shares with knuckleheaded youth, but all in all, I've had my fun. I've had
Yeah.
a real good life.
Yeah. Yeah. It has been fun, right?
Hell yeah, man! This has been a hell of a ride, man. And it's crazy because it's like a whole new track for me. You feel me? It's a whole new track.
How come
And that
everyone's
shit.
sounding a little down tonight? It don't sound.
That's what I say, man.
I think we just got a chill ass panel.
My shit got a whole bunch of loops. Look, I done went up like 2,000 feet in the air, going down. No brakes.
We need a car firecracker.
Yeah, we don't got the trunk.
Who is Firecracker?
See how you be trying to put me on the spot, big man? Who is Firecracker?
Oh, that Firecracker up.
Oh,
No,
look, let me show
no
y'all. Let me show
Firecracker.
y'all what I got from Huey.
What you catch, Bridget?
I got me one of those them things he be making.
Yeah, what is that? Is he making wands? What kind of wands are those?
It's kind of like can you see it?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's kind of like a
Bring it down.
It's kind of like a
yeah. When he said wand, I pictured like a third wand or something.
It's a nice little. What he said is is on it. It looked like a little rock.
Looks like a crystal.
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
That's copper.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Because you know copper rejuvenates you. You know, they say I was looking at some stuff from Shaguru, and he was talking about the significance of drinking water properly, and how you should take water sacred as you take the trees, because without the trees you wouldn't have air. And he was expounding about how the water, like I guess they call it vortexing, but you spin the water so good to get the memory back, but you got to get the water fresh from a pond, and then drink the water in a copper cup, and the water actually works with the body much better in the way it's supposed to, rather than just drinking out of a water bottle or something that's been sitting, because the water information has gone dead in a sense.
That's interesting. You say that. I was watering. I did a cycle, a 90-day cycle, and I was using a copper. It was like a glass bowl, not a glass bowl. It was like a tea, something like that held tea, but it was all glass, and it was copper, and the water was passing through the copper. And I always thought, I didn't test it to see if it was actually the copper, but you confirmed it by saying that you had an experience with copper as well. That's interesting, huh?
Yeah, that
And
like
see,
restructuralizes
that unk is
water.
copper,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, that's some real shit, man.
That's real.
That
Yeah.
You can
Don't they
build
be
your
having
own
like
little
copper
device.
cups though? Like those little king cups, like those medieval cups. Didn't them shits used to be copper or something?
yeah, copper and tin.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
You can
But they
build
said that's
little
the
like
best.
tubes and
Supposed to be
shit.
like the best thing to drink out of, you know. You know, that's why they say shake your water off. Or if you got 2 cups, like pour it in each cup, keep cycling it and letting it start breathe, because every time you pour it over into the next cup, it's taking in air and it's taking in information, and the molecules inside the water is coming back alive. So when you digest it, uh, it acts differently in your body.
Yeah. You guys should look into restructuralizing water, because that's pretty much what you guys are talking about right now. You can build your own little simple devices that do it in various ways. Like you can use crystals and like it's pretty much just like a tube that you put. I've seen it done with marbles, crystals, all kinds of things, but you run the water down in there and filter it into a cup, and then you do that a bunch of times and it does what you're talking about. But
Yeah.
it's called restructuralizing.
And I seen this one with this guy was telling me about, man. You actually blend the water, put the water in a blender and just let it spin. Let it spin for like 3 minutes, and take it and let it sit, and then spin it again for another minute, and then let it sit. And if you got like some copper or something, let it actually sit in that cup, you know, and then when it becomes room temperature, drink it.
Yeah, that makes sense, because you're pretty much essentially making the water alkaline again.
They
Bringing
they
life
do it in
back to
growing.
it.
Some people do it in growing. They call it like that reverse osmosis shit. Some warehouses have it to where they
Yeah.
That's how we supposed to drink our water, though.
See, I drink reverse
But
osmosis,
it's a lot
but
of shit about copper that's connected to us, just like how copper helps with the water. They say you put copper around trees or whatever, you know, like a little ornament or something, you know, like some little yard shit. Put it around trees. It brings energy and it brings life to the plants, you know, and shit like that. Helps helps them attract more energy from the sun and all that shit, man. That's a lot of shit about copper, man.
yeah,
Why
that's
you think
true.
everybody trying to snatch that shit up and scrap it?
The thing with the water is the key with that is just getting deionized water, which you pretty much have to make, because and even with the reverse osmosis, it's still on the acidic side. So like you got to get the reverse osmosis and then restructuralize that with either the Kangen machine, which is expensive as fuck, or you just do what I do, or do what I said, and make the little make your own structuralizing device. But that shit's important, though. I mean,
Yeah.
next to air, water is definitely the most important thing for you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that right, Naughty?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah, I just found that interesting, and he said drink out of copper cup, and I actually tried that shit, man. And the water, it kind of like when it went down, it kind of tickled, you know, like kind of like you drinking some cold water, but and it gives you like that chill down your throat when it's going down you. Well, see the thing went at the copper cup, it gives you that same feeling with room temperature. Or it's like, I don't know if you guys smoke, or like when like let's say you ain't smoked a Newport in goddamn 5 days, and then you finally hit one of them motherfuckers, you know what I mean? And the shit goddamn just give you that rush. It's like that, kind of in a sense. But that feeling really helps just activate your subconscious, and you know, a lot of monks use it during meditation, they drink the water out of copper cups.
I'm gonna have to give me a couple of them. Copper cups, that is. As long as you're not drinking out of plastic.
Hell yeah.
Yo, how you feel if you send a current through water? Will that change the dynamics or change something inside of it?
Well, see, I don't think there's no need to do that, you know. I mean, but I think, yeah, it'll probably alter it, but I don't think it would be in best interest for us, you know. I mean, maybe it might have some kind of significance or importance to something, but I don't.
It might depend on the like amount of like ampage maybe or wattage that you, because every like certain wattage
Maybe
would
like
have
some mountain water or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Some ice or something. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna look that up.
That's a good question. I never thought about that
Yo,
one.
what you thought about that? What you think about that, Dojo? Harry?
Say it again. The water. You talking about water?
Yeah, say that again.
Nadi was brought that up about the electricity flowing through it, like if that would change it.
And I was like, I don't think it'd be in best interest for us, you know. I mean, because there's so many other ways we can make the water more sacred and appreciative to our body besides shocking it with a certain voltage. Like the ways we were just talking about in copper cups. I mean, because that's electric within itself right there.
I could see it doing some pretty good benefits as if you built like your own little resonant frequency device and fucking, you know, you can really actually do that with a speaker
Yeah.
too. You can put your cup of water or whatever next to a speaker, play some music, and that will actually restructuralize it as well.
Yeah, it alters the molecules, get them back going.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Got a lot.
Well, electricity. Like we are. Some people like Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi say we're more electrical beings than, you know, vegetative beings, and that's why we sustain ourselves by eating electrical foods or electrical cell foods. He focused on the electricity that the vibrant that was left inside the foods, and it's the way I see it. That's across the board. You know what I mean? Even through meditative, even being in a meditative state. You know, now if you're able to shock water, similar to how brother was mentioning, and there was a device, a way to a way to see some results, then I'm sure the results would be on the positive side way quicker than on the negative side. Anything
I would
electrical is
say
going to be on the positive side.
the best thing to test it would be just do it and then test the pH balance of your water and see
Potential
how
hydrogen over water. I mean,
check.
the pH balance.
Yeah, yeah.
But how does electricity what would electricity do to alkalinity or acidic in water?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. That's what I would want to know though, and that's what I would test, because that's like what matters about water, the alkali or acidic. And if I'm correct, I think you want your water like on like about a 7.
Yeah, 7 is what they would call fair. It's more neutral. I would say 7 is neutral, even in foods.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 9 is ideal on everyday drinking.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you really want
Oh,
to
really?
drink.
I thought that was kind of high, but I'm also
Nah,
not that.
you don't really, man. I don't really like to fight with people too much. You
No,
want
I
to
don't
drink?
know.
You want to? No, I'm not fighting. I'm not. No, I'm saying about this issue I'm gonna bring up. Not
Yeah.
you, Brandon. No. this issue about that the body is 70% water or 80 or whatever they say. I disagree with that. I totally disagree with that. And actuality, I think too much water does damage.
Yes, you can drown on too much water. When they relate the body to water, it's because when you look at the natural elements, well, excuse me, the natural, what is it, the four natural things of mass, and fluid is one of them. You're just relating the body to water because water is in a fluid state. It's not saying that we're just all water. We're just mostly fluids that just transferring. Which
Right,
that's pretty much it. It's just fluids, but that's just the natural one of the natural states of mass is or should I say matter? Is fluid.
right. Yeah, that's a strong statement. I love it. I love it. But what I wanna decipher is this idea that the human body is mass. I believe the body to be way different than any other element on earth. You can't compare it to. No one should be able to compare it to because it is so complex. They want to put it as mass, but we have spaces inside of us also. We don't have just total density of mass. You know what I mean? We taking up
And you're right.
space,
You're right.
but
All arteries they're hollow. Things are hollow. That's
yeah,
amazing. Yes.
yeah. So it's like putting us in that theory is kind of pseudo. You know what I mean? I can see on objects that we actually could make with we hands to be solid or mass or density or them thing there. But for as we body itself, we really don't know. Um, you you know how it say in the scriptures, a woman's scorn is not known to heavens or earth. You ever hear that?
I've
The
heard
scorn, the
the
scorn of
scorn.
a woman.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
the
scorn of a
scorn of a
woman.
woman. Yeah, is not known to heavens nor earth. Right. So if you're dealing with her, no, and you looking from she heaven nor earth, no what she capable of physically. Because in a mental state, she likely to highly to not be in awareness. When man, you know how them say, um, don't fight the woman, turn around and walk away. A man supposed to be bigger than a woman. So if a woman hit you, her hit scene hurting you, just go on about your business and move on. You know what I'm saying? That's because again, a man's supposed to have more of a controller spirit within himself. Because again, he don't know his body. We don't know our body like that. It's foreign to we. We just using it as a spacesuit to deal in this environment that we're adapted to naturally in spirit. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly, brother. I understand. And
Yeah,
my analogy when I use the term matter, or should I say I said mass, but I meant matter. Whether the
yeah,
case, if I said mass or matter, in
yeah.
my analogy, I use that term as if I had a cadaver and cut the cadaver open naturally. They weigh
Hmm.
each organ in according to its fluid weight. Say, for instance, if I
Right,
decided to order groceries online, there will be an
right.
authorization hold on my credit card until the produce gets to my house because that authorization hold is to hold the water weight of that produce. Once the produce exchanges hands, the
Mhm.
authorization holds fall off my credit card, and I'm not held subjected to pay because it's a pending charge. And so it's like it's not pseudo to say something has water weight. Water weight is heavy. It weighs on a scale. It's man made to say something weighs this much, but it's just categorizing something by its weight, and that's why in the mortuary they cut them open and they weigh each organ. That's just what I was gearing
Don't
towards when I
don't
said
get
that.
me don't get me wrong. I'm not stepping on your toes at all. I'm not saying you pseudo in no form fashion. I'm calling the scientist named pseudo. Again, I'll pick up on yes, you're right. There is that weight, but it's also measured weight. You understand? It's all kind of trickery. And what I saying, why we'll let them run that trickery like they know everything and can explain everything, and we should be more into the unknowing. If we go in more into the unknowing, we will be more weary to cross certain lines. You know what?
Right.
You feel me? The more we feel we have knowledge of something, we willing to go that boundary and beyond. You catch me?
It's
You
like
get crazy.
it's like all this talking right here is like just a bunch of many motherfucking Bruce Lees. You get what I'm saying? It's like this shit is amazing. You get what I'm saying? It's like and Bruce Lee was into mastering his body, you know. And he had so much analogies. He couldn't really explain anything, but he could give you beautiful analogies to where you could it'd have to just be self-explained,
Right,
and
right.
he could show you physically, you know.
Yeah, not in no scientific chapter.
Yeah.
Trying to, them just teething we had, man. That's all I saying. The teething we had to make we ask all these questions and follow all these different rules and different God rules come with gods. I don't
That's
think
real.
that we was. I don't think that we was put here to be following no rules. Far as the only rule it was
That's what I'm
don't
saying.
take life.
You gotta look
Don't.
at that man, Bruce, man. Bruce lived at peace with everyone, but he'll bust